What's up, football fans? Welcome back to This Week in Dago Sports. This is the second ever youth football edition with the legendary Oceanside coach, Coach Shoop. Coach, it's a pleasure and an honor to have you aboard the Dago Sports Show. Thank you for your time, Coach. Thank you for coming on.
Oh, man, thanks for having me, brother. Thanks for having me.
For sure. Hey, so let's just get the accolades out the way, Coach. Legendary up in Oceanside. 10U champs, 12U champs, 13U champs. You're now the head coach of the 14U team, 2024 WestCon regional champs, 13U national Division I runner-ups, and the 2024 PPR James Gang Team of the Year. Coach, this is the final chapter, as you dubbed it. Tell the people why this is the final chapter with this 14U team.
This is the final chapter because everybody on my team will most likely go to high school next year. And then with that being said, that'll probably be my last year in youth football as a head coach. So we have to lay everything out on the line this year. Obviously, we want to finish with a bang, and that's being a national champ.
And speaking of national champs, last year, your 13U team was a runner-up. Describe to the people what it took to even get out there to Florida for the national championships, not Division 4 or 5, the top division, Division 1. Share with the people the short version of how close you guys were to becoming the national champion.
Well, it started back in January once we figure out what our final roster will be heading into the season of 2024. We ended up getting the right pieces that we needed, starting up front with the line, and then we added a few more skilled players. So that preparation took, off-season work with 7-on-7, getting in the weight room, getting on the chalkboard, and just, preparing ourselves for the season. And once the season started to crack, every team that was in front of us, it was just 1 week at a time, one game at a time. And then fast forward to regionals, that we had the toughest regionals out of all the regions in Pop Warner because we had to go through 3 rounds. And once we solidified the regional championship game versus Arizona, we stamped our ticket to national. And knowing that national was going to be a different breed and a different competition, which it really was, starting off with a team from Chicago, right off the bat. They were the bigger team. Everybody was bigger than us. But at the same time, I felt like our kids prepared themselves to be in that situation and to handle that situation. So we knocked them off, played another team from Addison, which was a really, really tough game. And then we met in the Super Bowl championship with West Chase Colts from Florida.
Okay.
The game was good in the first half. We made some adjustments, and we couldn't capitalize on the big plays that we needed. And come fourth quarter, they scored a touchdown that was kind of like a walk-off, and we ended up climbing up from the back, but it wasn't enough to solidify the championship. So we fell short at the end, but the experience of it all was amazing. It was a great run by that team, my coaching staff. So when we found out we're gonna we have another year, and we consider this one's coming up, the final chapter.
The final chapter. So one thing I want to ask that you point out, you said there was teams bigger than you. You guys, Oceanside, the Usos up there. Somebody was bigger than you guys?
Hey, surprisingly, man, the East Coast babies, man, they big bread, you know what I mean?
Hey, Usos are known in Cali, you know what I mean?
In Cali, but then when you start getting out to the country boys and all that, they're a little different too, man.
A little different, big. Okay.
Respect. Yeah, they gave us our respect.
Right on.
We good.
That's what's up. And you touched on your coaching staff, Coach. Talk to us about how important it is to have a quality supporting coaching staff. Because I know you're one man, you're the leader, the captain of the ship, but the ship ain't gonna go if you don't have supporting staff, everyone moving in the same direction. Talk to us about your coaching staff.
I cannot not praise about my coaches, man. I'm talking about from lineman coaches to skill coaches. I'm able to, I was blessed with having 3 lineman coaches, well, 4 at that. I had my OG Uncle Fai on the roster, so he brought in the old school coaching. But I had 4 lineman coaches and 3 skill coaches that we mixed together real well. Coach Tonk was headed all the skills, and Coach Chiave helping out with the running backs and DB. So just the fact that you can have coaches that understand the position and understand the schemes of football and being able to
Mm.
bring it all together once we start going team, it just makes it that much easier, man. As a head coach, that's what you want. You want to roll out a game plan for practice. You want to make sure that everybody's on the same page, because once we come to team, we all blend together and start coaching, whether it's offensive day, defensive day, and then we all share the special teams role. But if once you have that good, I'm not gonna lie, man. Once you have good coaches that understand the game, it makes it that much easier as far as teaching and developing the kids, and we're all on the same page. We're not out there just trying to just yell certain things. No, we're actually out there um, teaching them about the concepts. Coverages in defense, blocking schemes on offense, and blitz gaps on defense. So it just makes it that much better when you have coaches that understand and know their role and understand their position as their coaches.
And how do you, collectively with the team, as well as the solid coaching staff, how does the team keep the chemistry on, or what do they do to work on their chemistry on and off the field, coach? Because based on the track record, the majority of this team, if not almost all of them, have been together since probably what, 9, 10 years old. So how
Yeah,
do they, on and off the field, build that chemistry to all buy in at the same time with the coaching staff, everyone going in the same direction?
I think it all goes with the off season. I mean, once a lot of coaches think that off season is really off season. No, I mean I get it. A lot of our players play different sports in the spring and in the off season, but yet we as coaches we try to fit it in on their off days so that we at least still are working on football. We
Gotcha.
don't discourage any kid to not play any spring sports. No, we encourage all of them to play it, whatever sport you want, because you don't want to be a one sport kid growing up. You want to be able to do everything. So
Right.
we just adjust. I feel like when we adjust and we keep our schedules, open to everybody, and we're not going to get everybody at practice, but we're going to get a lot of them. And I
Okay.
feel like that's the key to progressing and keeping your unit strong, because you may have one kid that shows up for one practice and the other kid shows up for all three, but yet that one practice makes a difference when everybody's there. So off season
Gotcha.
prep with the coaches and the kids being able to continue to build on the craft, continue to build on football, and while enjoying the other sports that they like too. So off season is that was the key part of keeping our team together. And you're always going to have players that go, you're going to have players that come back, but at the same time, as a head coach, you want to keep the train moving. You're always going to have
Understand.
kids and parents that jump off and then jump back on, or new parents jump back in, and it's going to be like that at every sport, every age group. So as a head coach, and I just try to keep who I know is going to stay on the train and who wants to join the train, and just keep the same system going throughout every year.
Amazing, coach. The chemistry you have with your squad. And speaking on that, I first met you last year at the gala for the PPR. What I first noticed before you were awarded, because you came in as your team, you didn't know. I think it was. I don't know if you guys knew you were winning. You were up for it, correct? Or you already knew you were going to win. Whatever the case was.
No, I,
The
I didn't know. I mean,
Oh, you didn't know.
we were
Okay,
just
so you
invited.
guys. Yeah, you were got invited as a team and you were nominated for, team of the year. The first thing I noticed about your team was how everyone was well mannered. Like the coaching staff got the kids in, you guys sat down, the kids had a certain look, they had a certain presentation, no hoodies on, no this, no that. Like, and I said, man, look at amazing. And then someone said, no, that's Coach Shoop, man. That's his team. I said, okay. And I remember I've been, interacted with you, showed you love, all good. From then now and all the way to today, you already know what it is with us, coach. But I was impressed just seeing those young men come in that atmosphere that you had them properly dressed, saying, hey, we're here on business. You guys are going to look the part. You're going to sit here and act like you've been out. They just were well mannered. And that's a testament to you as the head coach and the parents and the whole staff. So and the reason I brought that up is, what was it like when you found out and they said the PPR James Game Team of the Year is, your team, Oceanside Warriors. How did that feel, Coach? What was that emotion?
It was one of those blessing moments that as a coach and as a team, as a community itself, because not only were we representing Oceanside, our team was representing Oceanside as a community, and to be represented on that big stage as a youth, because everybody knows that the gala is a high school,
Right.
presentation award for stuff, and for us to be invited and just to be mentioned and being able to run for that award. And once they announced our team, it was just, man, it was a blessing to hear that. And I feel like on behalf of Oceanside, we put them on the map, not just
Yeah.
high school. Obviously Oceanside has always been on the map, but I felt like a youth team going up there and representing Oceanside in the community, it shows a lot, and it felt real good. It felt real.
Awesome. And talk to us about the importance of the supporting staff with the families of the players. Because you as a coach, you coach your staff is on point. The players know what they do, but the families, I can't imagine how important it is to have all the families be on the same page and in a supportive role with the team and the community. Can you touch on that a little bit for us, Coach?
I think when being transparent with the parents and they understand your goal and what your plan is for their kids, it makes it that much easier for them to support. They see a coaching staff who cares. They see a coaching staff who pours into the students and to their athletes, and it's just one of those where you can't go anywhere else when everything's right in front of you. So I think with my wife is the team manager, so she has a great relationship with all the kids and all the mothers, and she babies these kids. Obviously you're always going to need that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Those are her babies, right, Coach?
her transparency with the parents and keeping them in the loop and always informed makes it that much easier for them to trust us with their kids and always wanted to support what we got going on.
That's amazing. Amazing job you're doing out there with the community, the kids, shining that light. You do have a big, big game coming up, Coach. Is it on Saturday or is it on Friday or tomorrow? Saturday. So share with the people who may not know, because this video will be posted tomorrow, probably around lunchtime. But a team from the Bay is coming down to Dago, right?
Yes.
To face your team. You guys are undefeated. I think you gave up less than 20 points all season, right? So far, is that correct?
12 points total so far. Yeah.
And this other team's undefeated. So yeah. So, but how did that come together to play have one of the big time teams from the Bay come down to play you guys? And I think it's at Army Navy Academy, correct?
Army Navy Academy, yes, 5 p.m.
Okay.
So how it works? So everybody's starting to ask me, like, man, how did you get this game? So it goes back to last year when Coach Gabe and I crossed paths at Nationals.
Okay.
We were waiting for our game, and they were heading to go play their game, and we bumped heads and we talked, we spoke, and we kind of gave a little short introduction and everything, and we kind of talked about what our plans were for the following year, which is this year. And I really didn't have a for sure answer. So once he found out that I was coaching 14U and he was going to coach 14U, we started getting on a group, on a text, on Instagram text, and trying to see if we could set up a game. So when they gave me the availability that they could come down end of September is when I started to ask our commissioner to see if we can make this game happen. One thing for sure is they're Pop Warner, so it's not something that is outside the guidelines, you know what I mean? So once we solidified the field and we were able to make it happen, gave them the information, they called back and, confirmed that, they're going to be able to fly down here Thursday, Friday for the game Saturday. So it was just about communication between me and that coach. And they are the number one team in the Bay Area. They actually the Bay Area champ that got the bid to Nationals. So they were the northern champs and we were the southern champs. And we both met in Nationals, but we were in separate brackets. So it would have been dope. It would have been dope if they would have beat West Chase Coast and we won against Addison. Then it would have been the California Super Bowl, which would have been dope.
Well, this is for the King of Cali, right? This is the King of Cali.
So now it's like, we didn't get our chance last year, but we got our chance this year, and just,
Okay.
yeah, basically the number one versus number one, north and south.
There it is. Northern Cali against Southern Cali. And what was the team's name again that you guys are playing? What is their name?
They're Warriors too, but they're Creekside Warriors.
Creekside Warriors against Oceanside Warriors, 14U this Saturday at Army Navy Academy at 5 p.m. Correct, Coach?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. And my last thing I want to ask you, as many accolades as you have as a coach and mentoring these young men and on and off the field and, being a pillar of the community, who or which coach or coaches was your inspiration that got you into coaching, or which, collectively the coaches that you grew up with and been around is the reason why you became a coach?
Well, I'm going to go back to, because I'm from LA. So I'm from LA, and my LA coaches, obviously, man, it was Coach McCall was the running back coach back in high school, man. And I just love the way he coached, the way he mentored me and throughout high school, and how he showed love to the kids of the team. And I felt like, when having him as a coach, it just made it that much easier for me to love the game. And as I grew older and I had an older son who wanted to play football, it just made it that much easier. Obviously everybody got to start from the bottom. So when my older son wanted to play, I was more of an assistant coach. And as he went through the years, and I got the years of experience, and then I had my second son, which was time for me to, let me go and try to run this. And that's when I became a head coach at when my son was 6, back in 2017. And then that's when the coach Shoop blew up. And
there it is. The legend.
I started reaching out and loving on the kids, and the parents loved me, and then my coaching staff, and my brother Tom, man, he's been my right hand man ever since we started this. So big shout out to him, because us doing this together made it that much easier for us and our boys, and getting everybody involved, and just having great coaches supporting us.
There it is. Well, Coach, I know you had a long day, just got out of practice. Thank you for your time. True pillar of the community, legendary coach, Coach Shoop. Also on Diamonds in the Sand, my Diamonds in the Sand family. You know what I mean? Lights Out Sports TV. Download the free app. Check us out. #1 right now. But Coach, I'm very, very grateful. Always been a solid since day one I ran into you, Coach. You already know it's all levels. But best of luck. Win that King of Cali crown for the home team. Best of luck the rest of the season, and go finish the final chapter, Coach.
Appreciate you, Marshall. Appreciate you. Man,
all right.
Shout out to you too, man.
Thank you.
That I ain't gonna lie, man. When you hit me with that ooze, not too many people know about the ooze, man. And so I just,
I appreciate that.
That's love, man. That's love, man.
And I got it from Coach Ben out down here when my son started going to Madison. He was the first one to be like, "What's up, Oos?" And I didn't really know what it meant. And then they was like, "Nah, it's like, hey, what's up, homie?" Like it's a term of endearment for the Samoans. Like, oh, I said I got love for the Samoans. They got love for me. So all love, Oos. But
things back. You were the one that hit me with "What's up, Oos?" on my way up the stairs, right?
Yeah, I'm like, "What's up, Oos?" Right.
So
it was all love.
Figure out who it was. Ever since when we met again at
the game, at Army Navy in December. Yep, the against Riverside or something. Yeah, but
so
much love, respect. You know what it is.
Man. Good people's always been good people, man.
Thank you. Much love. I really appreciate that, Coach. Best of luck, man. Get you some rest. Get them kids ready for practice tomorrow, and then go get that King of Cali crown, Coach. Thank you for coming on. Hey, everybody, football fans, legendary Oceanside Warriors, Coach Shoop in the building. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate your time. All right, peace. All right.